about the PowerPoint, PowerPoints or how to make it interesting, etc.
Let me go first, since I'm going to be having George continue as Toastmaster. I really enjoy being a Tai Chi member, but not an educator. In your introduction, Matt, is your purpose to share your credentials at first? Is that your
I did it at first just to give you guys background. The people that's going to are members of our association. They should know me as a chairman, should know me as a board member.
Okay. I think for the purpose of you giving the webinar, is sharing your credentials will also be helpful. Even though they know you, they might not know everything about you and what your experience is. So I would start with that, is just go straight to your credentials and what you're going to be doing. Then next is share the topics. So then they'll know the topics. But also, would you be sharing with them the benefits in the very last or the benefits before? What is it for them? Why am I interested in getting this credential?
As I was doing it, I was thinking maybe we should move the benefits up to the beginning and then at the end.
Absolutely. Then do the slides and end it with the overview of what you just said. In that way, in their mind, this is what I'm going to be getting, this is what I need to do, and so forth. So always end it, give them a reminder of what they need to do and what they're hoping to accomplish. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the new Toastmaster, George Jarowski. Thank you. And I'm going to put this in writing also, Matt. Okay, thank you.
Great, sounds good. So we're going to do round robin afterwards, or do you want to do round robin now, Matt?
We can do round robins now.
Okay, so I'm going to hand it over to Steve to take over as general evaluator.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters, we're going to evaluate this now. I'll go last. Carla, did Carla have to take off? Is that
yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Kim, do you have any feedback for Matt on his presentation or future presentation?
Yes, I do actually. I believe you said something about debating on using a PowerPoint or not. I would, just because I am a very visual person. When people talk, I tend to glaze over a little bit when there's numbers and important stuff involved. It's too much for my brain. When I can look at it and you're talking, it solidifies in my mind what is going on. I also would recommend for your PowerPoints, for instance, maybe have like bullet points. I tend to go overboard with things. So I always like to keep KISS in mind, the acronym, keep it simple. And for the bullet points, like put 3 or 4. And whenever there's something really important, I would either bold that word or something where it catches the eye. Or I find when someone makes a joke or they add to something that's very important you feel on that slide, that particular slide, make a comment or something like that. And personally, that helps me remember. I remember things when there's like a little joke involved or just something that I can latch on to. It helps me a lot. And like for the headings, make it a different font or a little bigger, because you want to make sure they can read it. So you always want to use like Times New Roman or something like that. That's what I would recommend. And in all, it looks good. And the toning as well, that helps me, because I like to read. I usually read it 5 or 6 times while people are talking, just so I can get it right in my brain what's going on. And that's what I would recommend to do, is definitely use a PowerPoint, maybe have something cool in the background, like a little more splash of color, but not too much to where it takes away from what you're trying to portray and everything. And that would be my feedback. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Evaluator.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Jolena, are you there? Is she there?
I am here. I was listening in and out. I
Did,
would
did,
just say,
did
I
you
would-
hear and see his presentation?
yes, a little bit.
Okay. You have
I
any?
just, yeah, I will only say one thing. Matt, you got to recruit now. I'm planning to now. I'm going to be at Nike. I think that's my new goal. I think you did a good job in motivating a new person like me who was inquisitive, and you fulfilled that by providing, through the slide and as well as through audio visual, I would say. And I think my only thing is start with the why. Like I always say, the kinesthetics, like emotion. Have that emotion. Why should Galina, or why should George, or why should Kim, or why should Tony? Anybody should do that. So start with that why. And once you have that why, then I think that's it. Battle conquered. So I would say that's my only one feedback for you. Otherwise, amazing job. And back to you, Mr. Evaluator.
All right. Thank you, Galena. Justin, do you want to take part? Do you have some?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Matt, for that presentation. And it was really interesting to me to see what the requirements were for becoming a Tai Chi instructor. I like that you provided a lot of very good factual information to the people. I think after this, they would know exactly what would be required to become an instructor. As Galina mentioned, I think I would start off with, why would somebody want to be an instructor? It's a lot of time and effort and maybe a little bit of cost, but at the beginning, maybe some of the benefits, but also maybe say why you became an instructor. What was your motivation? If you add a personal story to that, I think it makes it all that much more meaningful to the audience, because you're telling them, this is why I became an instructor. These are the benefits that I'm getting. I thought that the information, again, I thought was really good. Now, if you're providing a process on getting certified as an instructor, a lot of times if you consolidate the steps into the magic 3 and then provide the details after that, hey, you got to do this and then this and then this. Now I'm going to provide you with the details. If people have 3 points to begin with, they're going to remember that a lot more than 10 points that you required. So if you can somehow consolidate everything that you have to do into 3 stages or steps, that's going to be a lot more memorable to the audience. Also, what is your call to action at the end? What do you want your audience to do with this information? Do you have a website? Do you have a person that you should contact? Or what's the next step that you want your audience to take at the end? Now, as far as your slides, totally black and white, got the message across, definitely. But if you can add a little bit of color, maybe some icons, some alternatives to bullets, maybe add the pictures of the teachers that were there. That was just, and then also in the bullet points that you had where there was like 8 or 10, consider animating those in. Because what happens, people tend to read ahead and then they don't get the details that you're talking about. So as you're talking about a point, animate it in. In the next point, animate that in. Also, I don't know how the logistics are going to be when you present, but definitely consider standing beside your slides, because otherwise people are going to be looking at you and then in here looking at the
Well, this
slides
is a
and looking at
Zoom
you.
webinar,
Right.
so mostly there'll be the slides up there and might be a little box with me.
Right. Oh, okay. So it'll be Zoom webinar. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be Zoom.
Perfect.
Totally
Okay.
Zoom.
Yeah. 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 Overall, great information, and those are just some points that you could add. Some things you could add to make it even that much better. All right.
Thank you.
All right, I'm glad Justin was here, but you beat me to the punch on
Okay.
a bunch of thoughts here. Let me,
Can I do one more thing, Steve?
my overall, I'm sorry.
Steve, can I do one real quick before you sum it up? And that's your Word document, Matt. Could you incorporate that into Word PowerPoint, so you don't have 2 documents. You have the one document.
I'm planning on only showing the PowerPoint. I
Okay.
use the Word document as my cheat sheet.
Oh, okay.
That has
Okay.
all the answers on it, that everything I need to cover. So I made that first thought. I'll just show the PowerPoint.
And then Justin hit everything that I wanted to talk about. So I want to show you one thing that I did. This is for Pathways. And I put this together. I took one Toastmaster template But what I wanted to show you was that the branding. It's a frame, just like what Justin said, add color to this. And of course, PowerPoint has a lot of fun things you can do to it to make it interesting. So like highlighting, shattering, all sorts of effects. And since you've got 2 weeks, you can have fun with PowerPoint too. And I know you're a techie guy. So you were before you went into the exercise thing. But but Justin hit all the points I was going to say. Good job. And then also like Justin says, as Kim says, add humor. Justin says also add a few stories about yourself. Why did you get into this? And then how was your taping? Was it difficult to tape? What were the challenges you faced?
You have to take into consideration also your time. I don't know how much time that you have available to this.
I think we're gonna have an hour to 2 hours, as long as it takes.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So, yeah, time is probably not
Not an issue, so we'll sit there and answer questions, whatever.
Make sure they know, what they're in for ahead of time, though. I mean, you know how it is, not knowing when does this end,
And, okay, yeah.
but
Yeah.
if that matters.
So you're not in a hurry, then ask for show of hands. How many people are interested in doing this? Or at the end, don't forget to have Q&A. You want to pull your audience in. You want them to be involved.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much time that you had. So one of my suggestions, but I didn't mention it, is because I thought you didn't have that much time. Add some audience interaction, intersperse questions throughout. Hey, is this clear? Or what would you think? Does this process seem difficult to you, or what have you?
You could do that more than once, yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Good. Excellent.
Okay.
I'm done, Steve.
I don't know if I have much left. I'm looking at this as sort of the way I normally evaluate. My overall impression was good coverage of the required info and very well prepared. And let me tell you, there's some things I liked. The good intro where you were introducing the organization and where it exists and how long, and a little bit about what this is. But let me stop and ask this question. The first part where you had the Word doc with greater detail, and you sort of walked through that verbally, and then we went to the PowerPoints,
Right.
and I saw repetition. So is this the way they are going to get
No,
this?
all they're gonna get is a PowerPoint.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted, the Word document was something was everything I need to know, kind of like my cheat
But
sheet.
you
And
did
then
that to us today because,
I just thought you should have that as a background. This is what I need to cover. This is how I'm covering PowerPoint.
but you're not gonna do that with them.
No, I'm not gonna do that. with them.
Okay, then that makes sense. The humor is good. You had a couple of smiles and sort of not sarcastic, but self-deprecating things in there. Very organized. I started off with, like Justin said, I wanted more visual on what I was seeing, especially when it came to maybe show a little bit of you in action. That gets me rid of this one. I was thinking you needed visuals during your Word part. Are there unexperienced people in the audience that don't know quite at all anything, or?
Well, I think we're gonna have people that are, it's open to all our members, nobody pays. So we might have beginners doing it with information, and we might have people advanced, might have people that are already teaching, but not certified. We have a lot of people that just go out and teach, and they're not certified. That's who we're trying to reach. Now, everything we're doing, this webinar is gonna be recorded, put on our website. So all the members can look at it in the future.
So they're all there with a desire to
Right,
learn, maybe
learn.
not taking the step of certification,
right.
but okay, well. Because I'm thinking, how much of this is going completely over the heads of anybody? Probably isn't a problem.
It probably won't be.
Seeing all the And you took away my favorite one, which was, using you as an example here and there, and maybe giving you that opportunity to say how much you got out of this and how much you've enjoyed it, and, you know, the personal part it will really help. Repeated the first part of audio visuals. I don't know what I meant by that.
Okay. And you probably meant
Got some ideas.
Okay, I got a lot of ideas, a lot of helpful, because I need to move the benefits, and tell the why at the beginning, and make it more animated, and more personal stories, and a call to action at the end.
Photos here and there too,
Photos,
maybe,
yeah.
I don't know. And they're totally correct on PowerPoint. I learned that lesson years ago. You probably heard the same thing, any more than 5 on a
Yeah.
page. I don't know whether that's doable or not.
Well, you can split it up. The number of slides that you have is irrelevant. It's the amount of content that you have on those slides that's. more
And reading
relevant.
ahead, like
Yeah.
Kim said, people do that. I was
Right.
doing it,
Yeah.
not paying attention to you.
There was one more thing. Sorry, that was it. I wanted to see a little bit. It sounded like you were just conveying transactional information. And obviously, this is something that you care about, but I didn't see it conveyed to the audience. So
I
that would
agree.
be something that.
This is something I haven't really practiced. This is the first presentation,
Sure, yeah.
so I didn't want to, I'm not looking here to do the whole thing and action thing. I'm looking to get the feedback, which I got a lot excellent on the slides, so I can repeat it next Wednesday and do it more, better slides, more patient, but I need, yeah, a lot of it was just, I probably should put more humor in, more personal, more passion.
Do you need to practice the question and answer part more, or is that important? That's something you might run into, but may not.
Yeah, I'm sure people will have some questions.
I actually had a question. Are we going to do table topics, or it's almost going to be 12:50? Sorry, I'm on a tight limit. I'm actually working today, but I wanted to ask you, do we have table topics or not? What's the game plan?
I think we should skip it because this is more important, Matt, of getting you all set, and this is a learning for us too. At the same time, just my opinion, but I can do. I've got 3 questions to ask if you want to do table topics.
Topic to Galena.
No, Matt, go ahead. What is it? Say again.
I was gonna say one table topic to Galena.
No,
Okay.
actually, you know what George just said? This is critical, right? So I would say just cover this up and we can do our table topics next week because this is also critical, right? So let's do like this. I'm going to drop off. Thank you, everybody. And next week, I'll see you folks. Okay. And good luck,
Um,
Matt.
People.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, go ahead, George. I mean, Mr. Toastmaster.
Oh, good. So was this helpful, Matt? Did
It was very helpful. It's what I wanted, and I got more feedback than I expected. But what I give you guys give me some excellent feedback. So
good. And then reach out to me. I can help you with PowerPoint side. If you can send me any artwork or any letterhead, anything that is part of your business, then I can create a template slide for you and then give it to you. And then you can just bang away creating your slides of PowerPoint. But like Jacob says, it makes it interesting, adds color to it. That's it. Okay. Got quiet here. So,
okay, thank you.
So normally we take a rolls. Are you going to do rolls now, Matt, or do you want to move on to next week's rolls?
Do what?
Sign up for the rolls for next week.
Oh, are we gonna not do any table topics or?
No.
If you want to, it's okay. I'm here all day. So if you want to do table topics, I can. I can move on to table topics. Kim, what's your favorite season? Spring, fall, winter, or summer?
Thank you, Table Topics Master. Fellow Toastmasters, my favorite season will probably be between fall and winter. where it feels just right to walk around and not be too cold or too hot and just really enjoy the weather, be able to get out there and enjoy the sunshine and everything, and not have to worry about freezing or being too hot, taking a couple of steps. But then again, I'm also in the lovely state of California, as you all are, and you can appreciate the fall a little more than, because I've been to Mississippi and oh boy, just walking 10 minutes and you're just drenched in sweat. And that was in May. So I like the fall though, because it feels like you get everything, or not everything, but you're just right to where it just feels nice. Thank you. Back to you.
Great, super. Yeah, I was on a phone call. I'm Jacob. I'm also region advisor for Region 2 down Southern California. We had our meeting this morning with all the region advisors, and Denver just had a dump of snow last night. So the snow is here. Canada got their snow last week. But Jacob, what's your favorite time of the year? I know you're a seasoned Toastmaster, so you know about table topics.
You mean Justin?
Justin, you too. Justin.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Yes, my favorite time of year is spring. And there's several reasons for that. One, as Kim mentioned, is the weather. I think the weather in spring is just perfect. Fall is great weather, but spring is perfect also. The other thing I really like about spring, especially in this region, is that our golden brown turns to green. And everything turns green. Everything is, I think that's the most beautiful season. The wildflowers come out. I'm an avid mountain biker and hiker, and so that's a perfect time of year. That's my favorite time of year for mountain biking and hiking is spring here. The other thing is that we've come out of winter, and so we get periods where there's not a lot of rain, but yet everything is green and the weather is perfect. So my favorite season definitely is spring in California, or at least in Northern California. Back to you, Master.
Thank you. Great job. Okay, Steve, what's your favorite time of season? Winter, fall, spring, or summer?
Can I sit here? And
Go ahead. What's your favorite season?
I got it. Thank you. I'm going to change your question slightly to seasons of life. And I'll break it down simply to youth when you're learning and you really don't know what you're doing and you don't know how lucky you are, to middle age where you're working and getting into the routine and making friends, having a family, and then older after perhaps retiring, and that didn't happen for me till I got to 70. So which one is better? I think actually the one I'm in now is the most valuable and self-satisfying of those seasons, because I know more, and you start to look at the end of life and you start to think about what's important and how you want to spend your time, how you want to feel and react. And so and it's another learning experience. It's almost like going back to your youth and learning about what life's all about, finally. So there you go. My favorite season is old age.
And then real quickly, Nat, you and your wife love to eat food. What's your favorite food of the time of season, your favorite season, favorite food?
Okay, thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Favorite food, I think would probably be Christmas time, because my daughter comes. One thing, she used to be a pastry chef, so she makes great desserts, but she also makes great hot chocolate. At Christmas time, she'll take dark chocolate candy bars, melts it down, and then pours cream on it, and that's the hot chocolate. And it's great sugar rush, but it's delicious. I always look forward to that. Now I can think of the hot chocolate. I think I grew up trying to think of when I grew up, the holidays we had, Christmas Eve, we had lutefisk, which is a Swedish cod. And we're the only one that's liked it. My wife tried it and she got sick. Everybody that didn't grow up with it gets sick. And then my dad was Swedish, my mom's Irish, so on Christmas Day we had lamb. So, lamb meant lamb and stuff. So those are good holidays. And now my wife's from Taiwan, so a lot of times, sometimes my daughter will make a prime rib. A lot of times we have a Mongolian hot pot. All the thing, it's very cold out and you have something very hot and you put the meat in there for 30 seconds and you pull it out and eat, and there's vegetables in there, and that's, I think, one of my favorite winter times. So I like hot food in winter. Thank you.
If it's okay, I'm going to skip voting, go right into closing the meeting. Before I close, Jacob, I want to tell you, we have more people. Sandra Nunes, I'm George, I'm not Sandra, even though my name says Sandra, because I had to use her to bring up the Zoom session. That's what the address, but she's a international director, Region 1 international director on the board for Toastmasters International. Galeon, the one that just left, she made it to the semifinals, international speech contest. She's won our district contest. Carla, who just left, is a area director. She's been a division director. We've just got a lot of talent, got a lot of history. And then like me, I just doing my first year as region advisor and planning to be doing another year as region advisor. So got a lot of people here. And then Hui, who's also a division director. I think she's in Philippines right now. And so some of our members are away, but we normally have about 8 to 10 people attend our meeting. Just in case you're thinking about joining our club. So I'm going to turn control back over. Everybody did a great job. I'm going to turn control back over to Matt.
I guess I'm the presiding officer.
You're next in command.
Go to the website. Carla's educational VP. She's very good at signing people up. And so make sure if you want to give a speech next week or do a role, go and sign up. The Toastmaster will send out a notice probably next couple of days about the upcoming meeting next week. We're still trying to have that special, we're having this series, we're hoping to get people from businesses that come in and want to practice their speech for business. That's what this series. So we'll see if we get anybody to respond to that. If they have, then they'll give a speech next week. So otherwise, meeting adjourned. See you next Wednesday.
Very good.
Very good.
Where's the gavel?